at the panel discussion today that about the kind of programs you are looking to acquire for 2016.
Okay, excellent. I can tell you much about what we are looking for. Okay, so we still going out, we do acquisitions, we do commissions, and we do this globally. We've got a global English speaking audience, and we're looking for content from all different regions. Primarily, we're looking to communicate information from the global south to the north. And we see ourselves as a bridge of this information, central to all the commissions and acquisitions that we do in terms of subject matter. We need our stories to be centered around the human being. So human stories that need to be communicated across the globe. So we're looking for people who really understand their region, to understand, who understand, the political, cultural, economic nuances within societies, and then we take that information and then translate it to a global audience.
Right. You mentioned something about funding. Lots more opportunities have presented themselves because there has been less funding from international players.
Yes, I mean, generally in terms of the international market, there has been a reduction in funding, and this has been primarily because of the global economic crisis. We have weathered it well, and we have, still maintained a fair amount of commissioning across the globe, and this has actually presented more opportunities for us to get involved in anything from co-productions and commissioning content from different parts of the globe. Officially, we do obviously much acquisitions as well. In terms of acquisitions, we always see an increase in acquisitions if there is a decrease in commissions. We've tried to maintain quite a strong balance between the two.
Right. You also mentioned something about Africa, more audiences in Africa.
Yeah, generally with the English channel, we have strong audiences in Africa, particularly in English-speaking Africa, so Nigeria, in South Africa, and these are normally non-traditional markets. So Africa as a continent is very important to us. Even countries like Kenya, Tanzania, where English is quite the official language, they do look to us as a premium news and current affairs broadcaster, and we appreciate this audience very much. So in understanding our audience, we can then actually tailor-make content for our audiences, and these are, we would say, the non-traditional English-speaking markets. So in other places like the Philippines, like Pakistan, and in addition to Australia and New Zealand and the UK, which are traditional UK-speaking markets, we see there is a huge interest in our channel.
One last question, Bilaal. You mentioned documentaries as well. You said you were specifically looking for documentaries that were rooted in the news of our times, but would also go back in time.
I think here, essentially being part of a news channel, okay, and producing and commissioning documentaries for the news channel, it's our responsibility to provide some kind of contextualization to what's happening in the news, and I think this is essential. So we would actually look at some historical documentaries going back 100, 200 years, but it needs to be rooted in the present. How does it affect what we see and what's happening in our current situation? So I think history is important in providing that kind of background, and essential to our channel as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Bilaal.
Okay.